Whenever a new tank comes out, I always like to get a good idea of how it plays. Now, I've played probably about 30 games in my Lion so far, but I want to get some more played in it, and why not record a video in the process? So, in today's video, I will be doing a play 10. This is where I play 10 battles, track the stats, and we see how I do overall in this vehicle by the time I finish. I would assume that with the line, stats are going to be pretty solid, judging that this has been a very good performer for me over the previous 30 games I've played. The vehicle is honestly fantastic. It features capabilities similar to that of a Rinoceronte, but in a medium. And as we all know, the Rhino is one of the most beloved tier 10s that Wargaming has added into the game, so making a medium variant of it is also really fun. And the crazy part is that this tank has tungsten. I think that's really what pushes it over the edge, because it's one of the first autoloaders in the game that features tungsten. And there's a reason why autoloaders getting tungsten really isn't a great idea. It's because they have shells that they can dump quickly. You know, if you look at a VK72 which gets tungsten, it gets maybe 2 shells out if you're able to hit both very quickly. And not only that, but it's you're obviously like 15 seconds apart on the shells you fire. This tank, because it's an auto reloader, you can shoot 3 shells in 6.6 seconds, all with around 390 to 400 damage, and deal 1200. And that's a big difference, and it's where the auto reloading capabilities of this vehicle allow that tungsten to really rip out damage. So we can see an M60 on the one flank. I'm just going to chill here for a little bit. We got the Leopard spotted. We can also see the okay, we can see the super conch and everything. The problem right now is that while we do have our mediums there, at the end of the day, their whole team's going to that side of the map, and, you know, I would support them, but I'm not going to hold against 7 tanks. It's just not a viable play. The best way to play this early game situation is to kind of move over towards their spawn and flank. We actually have a BZ-58-2 on our team, which is an interesting vehicular. There you go, we got an enemy Leopard in the spawn. First shell misses, but because we are an auto-reloader, we can just reload our second shot, or should I say our third shot, and let's put on my tungsten. Let's get a 1 shell into the Leopard. We're going to load in an HE, and there you go, 434 high explosive. This tank is really nasty high explosive, actually, and it does a lot of damage. I'm not sure what the heck our concept's doing. Man just went AFK. Alright, well, we're going to continue flanking into the enemy's corner of the map. See if we run into anybody over here. There's the T-30, there's the Super Conch. We get a shell into the Super Conquer, and that player is going to aim in on the Waffenträger, so we're going to aim in again. 3, 2, 1, and there you go, 275. We are not able to high explosive pen the Yo, but we do get an easy pen nonetheless for 360. Just like that, we are already in a pretty good spot. We are going to reload our shells once again, and we kind of wait here. So, here we go. We got our shells. Let's see, what is this Super Conch going to do? Well, I don't actually know what spotted me. That's the interesting part. Okay. Well, our team's doing okay right now. As long as they can bleed out the enemy, that's fine. I'm going to move over this way. We're going to see if we run into anything. We have our tungsten back in just a few seconds as well. Alright, let's head behind the Super Conch, and am I spotted again? Oh, there's a T-30 here. That is not ideal for me. Okay, T-30 shoots me once. I'm going to shoot him back twice for a decent amount, but now the Super Conch's on me as well. There's literally nothing I can do about that. Wow, the entire enemy team's just going to try and YOLO me. Okay, well, there's a nice shot into the enemy Foch, and we continue backing up. I cannot believe the entire enemy team just tried YOLOing me, bro. I can't. Alright, well now we have the M60 I still have to deal with as well. We have the Foch who's trying to push me, and these are all very scary threats. We got 1 shell into the enemy Foch. We have the T-30 who we get a nice tracking shell into. And at this point, I am still quite low, but I'm not dead. And that's really all that I can say. Looks like that Foch was going to try and YOLO. There you go. 315 shell into the Foch, taking him out of the game. Wow, we actually lived. Good job from the enemy team, guys. Like, really, outstanding job trying to YOLO me. Now we have the T-30 being flanked by the Caro, and we got the clearing shell into him. We brought it back. We actually brought it back. That's pretty crazy if you ask me. And we get the clearance of the Super Conch as well. So this game I actually end up dealing 4,366 damage. We win. and we give our team a pretty solid result. Wow. Now that was a cringe game. I did not expect that the T-30 and Foch were both going to try and jump on me. Thankfully, because the Foch did, it allowed me to back behind the ridge, get in the cover, and get away. We can see where this double shot style mechanic with great DPM and tungsten allow me to not only perpetually shoot my opponents, but also get in the cover, not having to worry. And that was a great example there. I mean, that was as good of a game as you can get. My team were really supporting me, and then they stopped supporting me. I mean, all my mediums were alive, and the TVP was actually full health, but the problem was they weren't really giving me the support I needed when I needed it, so unfortunately what looked like to be a really easy farm turned out into a game that was falling apart pretty dang quickly. But we won, and I did pretty good, so I'm not going to complain. It would have been a really bad game, though, if the T-30 had played a little bit smarter. I was just expecting that Super Conch to die at some point, and he kind of never did. And not only that, then he was able to start shooting me in the side, and I was like, there's no way I'm letting a T-30 and a Super Conch and then a Foch all jump on me at once. It's not happening. So if you're ever stuck in a situation like the one you saw there, the first thing you have to do is get out of it. You should not be focusing on shooting your opponent. You should be focusing on the quickest escape route. And that's exactly what I did. I was like, well, I can't push the Super Conch, because if I do, there's an M60 there. There's a T-30 on my rear and the Foch. So if I kill the Super Conch, I still have to deal with all the tanks on my rear who are probably going to be chasing me, and I'll die. So instead, I'm going to back behind cover to a position where the T-30 facing the opposite direction can't reverse too fast enough. I got the mobility advantage, so what I should do is use it. So here we are on Oasis Palms in our second game. We have up against us 1, 2, 3 heavies, and we have 1, 2, 3 mediums. So because of that, yeah, we're going to go to the heavy flank. Look at where our team's going. 1, 2, 3 vehicles, and we only have 2 mediums. Well, actually, no, we do have 3 mediums, but I don't like the way that our heavies are going. At the end of the day, you need hit points, right? If the enemy heavies end up going towards the medium flank, especially with the fact that they have a Super Conch, they have a Rhino, which are fairly mobile tanks, I am not going to be able to do anything to hold them off. So while I do want to support my mediums, I'm also going to support my heavies. Yep, there you go. We can already see 2 tanks over here. Okay. Boss Shotzion makes an overpoke, gets bled. That's good. We have the Super Conch on the flat side. We have the 114. We got 1 shell into the 114. We're going to load in a second shell. There you go, 307. We got the 62A over here as well. Not too surprising. 62A gets bled for making a poor play. Not surprising at all, to be entirely honest. Oh, Super Conch's looking at me. Okay. Well, we got 1 shell into the Super Conch, 2 shells into the Super Conch, and, you know, honestly, 3. That's worth. While I did dump my clip for it, sometimes it's worth dumping to get out a large amount of damage. And right now, it's kind of a weird game that's currently unfolding. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into cover, and we're just going to leave and reposition. Our team is doing a decent job leading out that Rhino right now, which is obviously pretty important. And in 3 seconds, I'm going to have my shells back, which is obviously also pretty important. So we got 1 shell into the enemy Super Conch, we aim it again. We got a second shell into the Super Conch, we aim it again, and there you go, 3 shells into his vehicle. This tank does have a reserve shell. It's got a 16-second reload, which is quite long, but as we can see in certain situations, like clearing that Super Conch, it's worth it. Because would I rather have that tank knocked out of the game or not? That's the question I ask myself. And 100%, I'd rather have that Super Conch taken out of the game. Why would I not? It's just a smarter play. So we're going to back up and stay away from that 62 while I'm on reload. 62 gets my teammate taken out of the game, which is not very good. We have the 116 F3 over here. We have the M60 on the wide, and we're going to aim in. There you go, 378 into the enemy M60. Try again. There you go, 340, and our grill shoots him as well. And what was a very, very healthy tank is now basically dead. Again, great example here of where you're able to get out pretty solid results with this tank. So we got 1 shell into the 62A. We're up to 3,600 damage now. And we do have the 114 on my flank, which I don't want to be shot by. Okay, my shell went into the dirt. Thankfully, his shell missed as well. As we know, the 116 is one of the most inaccurate tanks, like in tier 10, so not too surprising, but also kind of irritating. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to wait a little bit or my shells to come back. We have the 183 over here, and 62A is going to shoot that player most likely. Oh, nope, 62A is going to poke me. Well, we get a 390 once, we get a second shell for 403, and we reload one more time, and we get the clear. Again, the auto-reloading mechanic of this vehicle is insane. I had a lot of people telling me, why would I ever consider getting this tank when I can play the Progetto or I can play the Caro, and you're starting to see why. The solid DPM, with the way that it works with this double shot mechanic paired with a reserve shell, allows you to constantly have the ability to get out damage. And when you pair that with the fact that the gun is a lot more accurate than something like the Progetto, it's pretty nice to drive, to be entirely honest. So we got one shell into the boss Chatillon, and the girl gets the clear. And this was a 5,200 damage victory. Going medium flank, in retrospect, would have been a solid play as well. In this game, I saw that my heavies were going to the heavy flank, and my mediums were going to the medium flank. I also saw that my Caro had no camo, which is not always the most, should I say, confidence-inspiring. And not only that, but our Sheridan ended up dealing 0 damage and YOLOing. The medium flank is always going to be the best way to go. In a medium, it makes sense. And if you win medium flank, you almost win the game guaranteed. The problem is, if I go medium flank, and my heavies go to the heavy flank, and the enemy team sends either the heavy side or the medium side, you lose. You need to be with the majority of your team. That's as simple as it is, especially on a map like Oasis. Because if I went to the medium flank, and the enemy heavies and mediums all pushed there, now I'm in a situation where my mediums are going to die, I'm going to have to leave, and I'm probably going to lose 60 to 80% of my health doing that. I possibly might not even get out. And that's something that you have to keep in mind. So because of that, I'd rather stick with the heavies, which are going to the heavy flank, because if the mediums end up going medium side, I can still spot them, I can still hold them off, and I can still deal with the heavies. So each game you play, you have to think about where your heavies are going, what mediums you have, and how effective they're going to be. So this battle, we are on Normandy, and the enemy team has 1, 2... heavies, okay, and they have 3 mediums and 2 tank destroyers, both FE2 and 5 B183s. Now we have 3 mediums. Oh no, we have 2 medium? No, we do have 3. Okay, yeah, I thought so. We got the Progetto and 4202. We also have a Chieftain, 183. Now I'm gonna ping for my team to go to mid-hill, and we'll see if they do. We have fairly mobile vehicles, so it looks like our team is going to support us here, which is quite important. Getting support from your team is the most important play that you can make. Now, we know that they have a 183, and that's obviously a pretty scary... actually, they have 2 183s, which is pretty scary. So, got to keep that in mind. We have the enemy E50 here. We get a nice 347 damage shell into that player. And, well, that's pretty good early game, at least. Chieftain's getting bled out. And I'm going to cross this. Here we go. Nice. All right. What do we have going on? Well, we have the AMX 50B all the way on the side. We have the E50M in mid, and I should be unspotted at this point to poke mid-ridge. We have the BZ-75 over here. Interesting. Okay, and we have the 50B. Alright. Well, I'm going to help push the BZ-75 as of now. Let's see, I'm going to aim in 1 shell. Okay, that sucked. I'm just going to help out the Hori. I think that this is the best play to make as of now. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to put on my tungsten, and there's a 399 into his tank. We're going to go for another 413, and that player is going to be taken out of the battle. Pretty good stuff so far. We're going to reload again on the 62A. 403 due to our tungsten still being active. Just like that, we've already bled the enemy out quite a bit. Let's hope that the Hori hits the shell on the 62A, which he does. We get a shell on ourselves, and I don't want my teammate to die, so I'm going to quickly shoot that shell and make sure that he lives. Yes, I did dump my reserve shell, which obviously takes away some of my effective DPM, but at the end of the day, saving a teammate for some of your damage output is always going to be the best play, and that's exactly what I did there. So I chill here in cover, and now that we have our shells back, I can start moving up a bit. We have already taken out 2 of the enemy tanks, and the 113 is getting pretty solid bleeds out himself. We have the E50 over here. We know that the 2 183s are all the way on the other side of the map, so I'm going to ignore those players right now. I'm going to push over the ridge and aim it on this enemy E50. We get a 339. We're going to aim it again. We get a 310, and that brings a full health E50M down to 111 health. 113 is probably going to clear the 50B, but if he doesn't, well, I'm not going to because my RNG didn't like me. Okay, well, that's fine. we have the most DPM in this tank on single shot, second shell. So that's exactly what we're doing here. And we'll just wait for our third shell to come back, just like so. Let's see if we can spot any tank destroyers. No. Oh, there you go. We have the enemy 183 detected over here. And you're going to poke me, 183? No, you're just going to sit there. Okay. Well, if I'm not able to hit that 183 and he just fired, we're just going to push over to the 907. Get one shell into his tank for 387. Two shells into his tank for 395. Now we have the 183 backing up. And bonk. There you go. We get a 360. And there you go. That's a 4,124 damage game. 3 games, 3 wins, 3 games over 4,000 damage. Pretty good stuff so far for the Lion. Alright, well, let's keep going. Let's see what we can do here. You can see how none of these games I am playing overly aggressive. This is a vehicle that requires your brains rather than the armor or reliance of its capabilities. So what I do is I usually wait for somebody to make a misplay, a poke, and then I punish them for it. And as we can see, as always, auto-loaders and auto-reloaders are just flat better than single-shot tanks. In the one game I played on Oasis Palms, I traded about 1,100 damage for 400 on that enemy Super Conqueror. Even a Leopard 1 wouldn't have been able to do that. The Leopard has 3,900 DPM, or 3,863 if you're running it fully equipped, which is maybe like a 6-second reload, but even then, I'd only get 2 shells into the Super Conch before he's able to shoot me back again, because that's around 12 seconds. So, because of that, it means that even, in a single shot that has more DPM, you just don't win the trades usually. Even if a Leopard's fighting me in a Lion, I can shoot him once, and then if the Leopard tries pushing me, I'll reload that shell once, and then I can just shoot him one more time, reload that one more time, and then dump the full clip and kill him, especially because I have tungsten. Tungsten is really an underrated consumable. On a paper, adrenaline looks better than tungsten, because adrenaline lasts longer, right? Adrenaline gives you, if you're running high-end consumables, it's like 26 seconds of 17% more damage per minute. Tungsten gives you, what is it, like 15% more damage for maybe 15 seconds or so. It is a lot less time, but the big advantage of tungsten is the fact that you are actually dealing more damage. With adrenaline, you could shoot at a tank that has 800 health with 400 damage per shot, and both shells could low roll, and you could leave that tank on 1 health. And because of that, you die, because you have to reload an entirely new shell. With tungsten, you can shoot at that exact same tank that has 800 health, and you will guaranteed deal over 800 damage every single time. And that is where tungsten has a massive advantage, because you are not reliant on your RNG. And, I mean, look at that. That was a 415 damage shell into the enemy Progetto. Now, that Progetto has played very aggressive, and that is a problem for specifically me, but not anymore, because that Progetto is now finally being punished, and he's going to die for that. Don't make stupid plays, and you won't get stupid punished. Great play from that Progetto, guys. Great play. I'm not sure why that person did that. And I'm glad I didn't bleed any health to him, but just not really sure what the thought process was there from that player. Okay, well, we are going to head over here. And we got the 50M spotted. Alright, well, I'm going to try and flank. We have the enemy Sheridan detected, which is obviously a bit of a threat. We also have the Waffenträger off to the side. Okay. Sheridan gets shot, and this is not ideal. There you go. 1 shell into the enemy Sheridan. Oh boy, and the 50's over here as well. Yeah, that player's a goner. Alright, let's aim it on the Sheridan again. Like bouncing, bruh. This game is looking to be a defeat. I mean, our Sheridan YOLO'd in and died, which was a really, really bad play. We do have the VZ moving over here, which is pretty important, but yeah, not a great start from our team. We have the enemy Waffenträger, which we do get a 313 into. Not bad. We also have the 50 over here. Okay. Well, E50 gets shot. I'm going to move up, see if I can support my teammates a bit. Let's see. We have the E50 right over here, aiming. There you go. 347 into his tank. You going to poke me again? Ooh, we bounced him with that shot. Unfortunate. Alright, well, the base cap's no longer going up, which is really, really good for us. And I'm just going to wait here a teeny bit, and we're going to put on our tungsten, and, okay, guess I'm still spotted, guys. Even though I couldn't spot the waffle through that bush, I'm still spotted. Does that make sense? No. That's classic wargaming moment where they screw you with mechanics that you don't even understand your own self. Okay, E50 shoots him. We have the 60 TP. We have the waffle. There you go. Easy shell into the enemy waffle. It looks like we did blind fire him at least, which is pretty important. 183 I'm hoping kills at E5. I really am. Okay, good. Even though the 183 is going to die, he did what he needed to, which is pretty important. Alright. We have the waffle. 60 TP shoots my VZ, which is not ideal. Bro, does that... That's really annoying. That dead tank turret is giving this 60 TP the perfect cover to sit behind, which means that I literally cannot shoot him. Okay. Well, there's nothing I can do about that. That's a little annoying, though. Going to be entirely real. Shoot at the 60 once. Our shell does not end up hitting. Shoot at him twice. That one does hit. Alright, pretty good. We're gonna bleeds out. Sheridan's gonna try and flank behind, though, which is not good for me. Okay, we're gonna move right here. This is bad. This is 100% a loss, guys. 100% too. Let's see. I just can't do anything, and I have a feeling that Sheridan's going to roll up behind me on any moment now, so I'm going to move up. We're going to put on our tungsten, and we're going to see if we can get some damage into the waffle. There's a 382, and see ya. Perfect. Okay, that was actually pretty important. Now I'm going to back into cover here, and I'm going to wait. Again, that Sheridan's the big threat, so if we can get that Sheridan taken out of the game, that'll be huge for us. Okay, 60 TP just shot. E50's one shot as well. Both very, very important things to have. Okay. Easy shell into the 60 once. E50 is showing me his lower plate. Perfect. And 60 TP pokes, which allows me to get the clear. Okay. But unfortunately, I'm going to die. There's no way I live through this situation. I mean, actually, it is possible I live. What I need to do is I need to leave. I just need to leave and reload. But I'm glad that I got the 60 TP cleared. That was obviously really, really important to do. The BZ-58-2 is making a right play. He's leaving. And I need to cover this BZ, because if he dies, I die. So I need to stick with this player and cover him very, very importantly here. So let's see what I can do. Keep on going, keep on going. Let's see, is the Sheridan going to cross over here? No. I just don't know why this BZ's kind of like YOLOing. It's not really a good play, if you ask me. The play of patience is probably the best one, but yep, I'm going to cover him. Oh, there's the Sheridan in the base cap. Interesting. Does that mean the Sheridan's over here? No. Okay. Gonna chill right here very briefly. Okay. Huh. I don't know where the Sheridan would have gone. I really don't. It's obviously impossible to really track down a light tank. It really is. Problem is, it's probably either going to be a draw or a defeat. Oh, there's the Sheridan. Oh, good. And our BZ actually hits him and gets a bounce. Beautiful. There's one shell into the enemy Sheridan. And come on, BZ. Well, that works even better. Wow. If that BZ didn't get the bounce, that would have been a lot more painful. But we won. And he did get the bounce, so I'm not going to question it. Pretty good stuff so far. The line has been able to carry a crazy defeat-looking battle there. Yeah, I mean, the reason that game was tricky was because our team needed to push their spawn and didn't. They hesitated. That VZ just needed... Our VZ bled a huge amount of health. And the problem was, he bled all that health and then just backed up when they were all on reload. If he had pushed and helped me kill that waffle, and I'd been able to push on that E50, and the rest of our team had helped, it would have been fine. The other problem was this guy in the Sheridan. What are we doing, bro? Why are we YOLOing into an enemy Sheridan? If our Sheridan had played smarter and stayed alive longer, it would have allowed me to do my job, support him, and come out with a victory. Unfortunately, when you have teammates that kill themselves right in the beginning of the game, especially mobile ones, I mean... You saw how much of a threat that enemy Sheridan was. I couldn't do anything until I knew where that Sheridan was detected. Thankfully, the BZ did spot the Sheridan, but if I was the one who ran into that Sheridan in that game there, that would have been a loss, because I would have died. There's no way a Sheridan's going to bounce a lion, and the game would have been over. And that's something you always have to keep in mind when you're driving these lightly armored mediums, is how important it is of the enemies in order to die. Mobility is key. That's just a fact. So I'm always going to try and focus the mobility first. Unfortunately, in that battle, I just wasn't really able to do that. Now, we have that E50M who we've been getting on the enemy team, on our team this time. So we'll see how he does. I hope he does okay. We are going to make our way over to this spot right here. This is a very good early game position. It gives your team information if anybody is crossing. For example, we get a nice shell into the enemy Marat. Oh, and we get a shell into the Projet Luis. Really, he hits me full speed on the move. Well, nobody said anything about my good luck, but you know what I did do? I got that Luis absolutely nuked in the crossing by spotting him, which gave our team huge information. So just me pushing here gave our team massive amounts of info. Because now the Luis and the Marat are both, like, known to be over here. And, yeah, I mean, that's huge. Now our whole team can flank free on the other side of the map without even having to worry. And that is, like, really, really important info. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to chill right over here, and we're going to see if I can get a shell. There you go, into the enemy Type 68 once. We're naming on the Type 68 again. There you go, another nice 336. And with our team shooting the Type in the side, that's obviously a pretty good start here. We have the Luis, we have the Yo. These are all very, very nasty tanks. What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to put on my tungsten. I'm going to aim on the Luis. Got a 370, and he is going to shoot me. Oh, okay. 50 TP shoots me as well. All right, and he match rolls, almost. Wow, I shouldn't have done that. That was a bad play for me. Sometimes I make good plays, sometimes I make bad plays. That was a really, really bad play for me. I bled a lot more health than I wanted to, and now I'm a one-shot. And this is what happens when you make over-aggressions. I should have just not poked the Luis, but I did, and that's on me. So, oh well, I guess, right? We have the 50 TP, and as much as I want to shoot this 50 TP, I also have to be really, really careful about the Yo and everything else, so that is something to keep in mind. There's the enemy 50 TP crossing, and I'm going to aim in right here if I can. This is the most ideal spot to shoot him. Unfortunately, I'm not able to hit him just yet. Let's see. I'm going to chill right here. I'm going to turn my tank in a better position. These stupid crates are in my way, and they're making it a little annoying to see the enemy through them. So let me shoot or break these crates really briefly. There you go. I got one shell into the enemy 50 TP. 2 shells into the enemy 50 TP, and then we back up just like this. Perfect. Okay. That's a pretty good start. That gives us some extra damage to our tally, and it's obviously going to be a win at this point. Question is, what is that Yo going to do? Well, we're going to find out. Let's see if the Yo is over here. No. Okay, the Yo is not over here. That means the Yo is not crossing yet. To be fair, I don't have to really worry about the Yo too much, because he's going to be shooting at the 4.52, which means I can move over here. Let's see, we have the minnow on the flank. The Yo just shot. And we know where the 50 TP is, so... Oh, well, I'm probably going to die now. Unfortunately... Well, maybe not. I really thought that 50 TP was going to send me, but I guess not. Alright, well, we bounce him once, which is not ideal. 4.52's over here as well. Let's aim it on the 50 TP track wheel. Really, we track him, but we don't end up penning, which is not really what I wanted. Alright, well, the Yo is going to shoot at this player. And we're going to see just exactly what he does. There you go. Easy shot. And come on, keep tunneling me. Keep tunneling me. L, bozo. L, bozo. Alright, well, 50 TP does kill my teammate. But you know what? I'm going to give Luigi credit. He helped me. I did over 3,000, which is good. I shouldn't have bled my health. I shouldn't have poked that Luis. I should have flanked to the side instead of poking him front on. But I brought it back. Even if you bleed health and you are a one-shot, you can still do fine if you know what you're doing. And even if that Yo had average rolled me, he really low rolled me, but even if he had average rolled me, I still would have done over 3K this game. I still would have given my team necessary info. I would say just me spotting up that Marat and Luis in the beginning of the game won our game. I mean, we were probably going to win that either way. Their team was pretty bad, but what I mean is that the enemy Marat and Luis are obviously 2 mediums, and very dangerous mediums. They have double shot mechanics, and as you saw, that Luis took like 680 health off me in like 2 seconds. You got to be really careful when poking enemies. And the information that our team gains from seeing that now they have no mediums to worry about on the medium flank means that they can instantly start pushing through on that side of the map and get behind the enemy. And all I have to do is hold with the 7.52 as long as we possibly can, and we win. That's all you got to do. If you have tanks holding one flank, right, and you have vehicles pushing on the other side, it instantly gives you that win because they're stuck on you, and then they're getting bled out on the back. When you're getting shot in the rear, you have 2 options, right? You're either going to turn around and start dealing with those tanks, or you're going to push more forwards. Now, the correct play is to have one tank turn around and try and hold, while the rest push and kill the tanks holding them. That's the only play you can really make if you're going to try and win in that situation. Turning around to deal with the tanks on this side are now going to kill you because these tanks over here now get leniency and now they're able to start pushing. So a pincer maneuver is obviously the worst situation that you can be in any game. So you always got to keep that in mind. But we'll see what we can do here. And I'm just going to ping this way. See what we can do. Alright, I am going to aggressively make my way over into the crossing, and we're going to see how this works out. I don't always like to play super aggressive, but sometimes it's more beneficial, and this game it's probably going to be a bit more beneficial for me. So we can see the E75, we can see the grill, we got one shell into you, we have the E100 here, and, let's see if my team supports me. Hopefully they do. I should be okay, though. Let's see. I would assume that my team's going to do a decent job supporting me. There you go. Easy shell. Nice. The E100 gets bled even more. E75's getting shot. I back up. Ow. I got shot in the rear, though. So I guess I can't back up any further than this. But we're going to get one shell into the E75 again. There you go. 359. And we chill here. So it was the E50 that shot me in the rear. Not ideal, but we get the clear onto the enemy E75 anyway, which is pretty important. E100's on reload, and I'm going to reload myself. 3, 2, 1, and let's aim in on the E100. There you go. 327 into his tank, and there you go. Another 300 shell. We are up to a pretty solid amount of damage at this point now, and we're going to aim it on the E100 track wheel. There you go, 324. I'm going to load in a... I'm not actually able to pen him with that shell there. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to load in gold, and there you go. Beautiful. Just got the angle to pen him there. Okay. So the concept 1B is obviously fighting these 6. We can see the waffle staring at me. So there's no way I'm going to poke that right now. I think the better play to make... Ooh, never mind. Never mind. Wow, that player got obliterated. Now, in this point here, I don't really need to load tungsten because my average damage will still... That's a little annoying. 3, 2, 1, and... You know what? I know the waffle's on reload, so I'm just going to sit here and, yeah, back him off. And then I can move up myself, aiming. There you go, easy clear. We have 2 shells left to our name still, which is pretty good. Tortoise is being sent by the Foch, which is obviously something to keep in mind. There you go. There you go. My voice was kind of dying there. We do the E50 on the plank, which shoots. Allows me to get 1 shell into the E50. Not able to get another out just yet, but bringing that E50 down to a... ooh, that works even better. Beautiful. Alright, Mr. E50. And chunk, you're out of the game. That leaves only a couple vehicles left on the enemy team. We have the concept over here. Chunk, there you go, 105, clearing that player. We're up to 4,500 damage now. And once again, we're going to win. I have 6 kills, by the way. 6 kills. So... I'm actually able to get 1 more out, I'm going to be at 7, which will be pretty dang sweet. Foch shoots, and let's see. Okay, I'm hoping that our team does a decent job. There you go, 1 shell into the enemy Foch. And let's see. Ooh, yeah. Get absolutely beamed on. And no! You cringer! Oh my god. That would have been 7 kills, bruh. And I would have had it too. I would have had that kill so easily. I even big brained that Foch and hit him through that little crack, but I'm actually giving that 114 a thumbs down. Bro, what a cringer. Oh man. Bro, I'm so mad. I'm so incredibly mad. I can't believe that. 7 kills taken away from me like that. Alright, well... How many games have we played? 6 games. We've won every single battle, and we're at 4,400 average damage. Eventually, we will get a loss here, and we'll probably get a bad team paired. But it's going well so far, so I'm not gonna complain. When you get good games like this, it's always a very happy day. 4 more games. I mean, even if I were to deal like 1,000 damage in all 4 of these games, I'm still pretty sure I'd sit at like 3,500 by the time we finish the video with the amount of average damage I've been going. Mediums are just easier to get damage out than any other class. I've talked about this in the past, but the calibrated shells changes paired with the fact that, most mediums just have great DPM allows them to now be better than most other classes. I mean, think about it, right? That E100 or E75 or whatever it is. You can drive this big old heavy like an E100 and deal 660 damage a shot if you're running the big 15 centimeter. And that's a lot of damage. At least on paper it is. But why drive an E100 and deal 660 damage when I could drive a Lion and deal 680 damage in 6.66 seconds? Or not even 6, it's 3.3 seconds. Yeah, it's 3, you only have 1 inch clip. So I can deal more damage than you in a shorter amount of time due to my aiming time. And not only that, reload my shells faster, way faster. I can even run tungsten and make my average damage around 800 in those 2 shots. That's the problem right now, is that, like, yeah, you can drive a heavy, and you can have these really, really solid situations, but at the end of the day, I can drive this tank and deal more damage to you. It's really stupid. So this battle, I'm going to make my way right into this spot here. That is the best position, in my eyes, to use a Lion at. So I'm going to position right there, and we're going to see what I can do. Now, the Lion is pretty quick. It goes 52 kilometers per hour. It's not as fast as a Leopard, obviously, but it is still a pretty fast vehicle. We're going to put on my tungsten and get 1 shell into the enemy boss Chatillon. We're going to load in a 2nd shell into his tank for 389, and, well, our Leopard basically killed himself, but at least he got bled in the process. Oh, that sucks. But, it's fine. It's fine. Player is... We killed the bat shot. Chatillon is what I should say. And that's a decent start. Let's see, what was over here? Is there a tank over here? Yeah, it's a Leopard. Alright, well, we got 1 shell into the enemy Leopard, and... Let's see, Leopard's going to try and leave, most likely. Yes, he is. We're going to wait for our shell. There we go, 380, and... Oh, well, that's not what I wanted, but you know what, it's fine. We got the Leopard cleared, nonetheless, which is pretty important. We can see the E5, we can see the rest of the enemy team. That Marat, rather irritatingly, actually got up that hill. However, kind of a stupid player, not gonna lie. Why would you push up a hill against an E6 and IS-7? What's the thought process? That's my question, right? What's the thought process here? And not only that, but... Okay, never mind. I was gonna say not only that, but you're gonna get bled, but my shells decided to not like me. But yeah, you are gonna get bled. Zero brain cell play there. Now, unfortunately, I didn't see the enemy E50 YOLOing, because if I had, I would have shot that player. Unfortunately, now I'm on 0 DPM, but again, clearing enemy tanks is always the most important play to make, and that's exactly what I did. So we got our shells back now, we're on our most effective DPM, the base cap was just stopped, so what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to push this Contracaro. Let's hope that he doesn't dump his full clip into me. Let's aim it on his lower plate. And we get 1 shell. He bounces me. We got 2 shells. This gives me my most effective damage per minute. And now we just wait. And 3, 2, 1, bonk. Easy 368 clear. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff so far. Alright, well, we are going to... I'm just going to wait for my 3rd shell. My team's going to kind of block me there. Aiming on the lower plate of the 777. Get a 319 damage shot. Load on his lower plate again. 362. Let's wait for another one of my shells to come back. 3, 2, 1. Bonk. And then we wait for one more. Bonk. There you go. Perfect. So this game we ended up dealing 4,489 damage. Another victory! Another victory for the right side of history. Anybody know where that quote comes from? There's maybe like 5 people that knows where that comes from. But there you go, 4,600 damage dealt. You can see how I don't really care when I dump my reserve shell if it's a smart play. Clearing that Marat was a smart play. Yes, I might have gotten a little bit more damage shooting into the E50, but I'd rather clear a tank that is trying to pose a threat to my team on the hill than a tank that isn't. So that's kind of how it's always going to be. There you go. We're 7 games in now, and our average damage is sitting at 4,416 with a 100% win rate. Can we get all 10 games with 100% win rate and 4,000 over? Now, by the way, if anybody wants to say that I'm being paid by Wargaming or I'm a shill because I'm saying that this is a good tank or something like that, well, I should mention that I am playing on my main account right now. That's why you're able to see my stats. And not only that, but I did a stream yesterday where I actually purchased this tank on my main account. for over $100 US. So if you're going to sit here and say that I'm a shill for wargaming when I literally spent $127 US yesterday getting this tank, spending all of my free XP with Flossie, you are the problem, not me, really. You know, there's somebody yesterday that was like, oh, Driddles likes this tank because he's a shill for wargaming. Yeah, you're right. It's luck that I'm doing good in the tank today. It is luck that my teams are winning, but it's not luck that I'm doing pretty good in the tank. This is a really good tank. So what am I going to do here? Well, we have 3 mediums, and they have 3 mediums, which is something to keep in mind. We have the 268. Okay. And that's actually really annoying that the 1-2-1 push there. I don't know why he would make that play either. That's kind of just really annoying, but oh well. He low-rolled me, like, massively, so I kind of got lucky in that regard. Well, see what we can do here. Let's see what we can do. I'm a little worried about that 268, but I should be alright. Let's see, right here. Interesting. Where's the enemy mediums? That's my question right now. Where? Oh, there it is. Alright, well, we got 1 shell. Okay, there it is. There it is. There it is. This is where my game starts to become unfun, because they are on Dead Rail. And Dead Rail is the worst frickin' map in this game. Oh my god. Oh, wow. Great play, 1-2-1. You bled 1143 health to overpoke and shoot me once. I hope it was worth it. I really do, bro. I really do. Wow. Well, I'm down to 570 health. Why? Because this is the worst map in the game. Because no matter where you poke, tank destroyers can shoot you. It is such a bad map. There's nothing else to say about it. I hate this map. I hate everything about it. Because that bush right there has a little rattler tank destroyer who managed to shoot me across the entire map. So you know what? I'm going to do the favor and shoot right back at him. There you go. I have 2 shells for you. Man, it's just... It's such a cringe map. Because... I'm not playing poorly, you know, I'm playing right, I'm playing passive, I'm doing everything that I should be doing, and yet I'm being punished for it, and it's just really cringe. I can't even make a poke here because of the fact that I can't allow myself to be seen by that tank destroyer spot. But we're giving our team assistance, which is pretty good, so I guess I'm just not going to get any damage this game, and the rest of our team will. Let's see, we have the TVP over here. Yep, there it is, there it is, there it is, unspotted 268 in mid. So even though I played smart, I played passive, I did everything that I should in this game, I'm the one who ends up dealing a terrible result, getting almost no damage out and losing. Isn't that fun? This is why Dead Rail is the worst map in the game. I do hate Castilla, don't get me wrong, but in terms of fun, Dead Rail is 100% hands down the worst map in the game. I mean, what was I supposed to do here, man? And it's crazy, you can have such a good result, right? I have 4,400 average damage, we have 7 really good games played. And 1 unenjoyable game takes away all of the fun that I had in those battles. And it's because of this game. I mean, you got a 268 sitting in mid, undetected, who shoots me. You've got a Waffle who shoots me across the map, who nukes me. You got a 1-2-1 who kills himself to shoot me. Like, just what a stupid game, bro. What a stupid game. This will be a loss. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter sometimes how skilled you are. It doesn't matter what plays you make. You're going to lose games. And this was a situation where we are going to lose this game. Just not fun. That's all there is to say. Not fun. Wow. I think I did less than 1,000 damage too. I literally had 0 opportunity to shoot anybody. I just... Oh well. Oh well. I know I'm complaining a lot. And I'm doing pretty good in the tank, but it's just... This game was entirely out of my control, and when you're put in games that are out of your control, it really pisses me off, because I tried playing it smart as much as I could, and playing smart actually got me killed. You know, I played passive, and I let my other mediums take initiative, and yet I was the one bled. I was the one punished. Made 0 sense. Like, absolutely 0 sense. So let's see how much damage I did this game. Maybe 700? Oh, wow, 363. That's really fun. That's really fun. Wow, I had a lot of fun that game. Wow, that's really exciting. Wow. So that means I missed every single blind shot on the enemy Waffle. I did give my team some assistance, but that's really fun. My average damage just absolutely tanked because of that. Went from, 4,400 to 3,910. Wow. Wow. 400, no, it was 500. One bad game lowered my average damage by 500. Thank you, Wargaming. Thank you for making some incredible map design. See, the problem with Dead Rail is, well, there's a couple problems. First of all, the fact that Wargaming has buffed tank destroyer camo values means that a 268 can sit 200 meters away from me. Not even. That 268 was probably like 150 meters away from me in the direct open and not be spotted. How does that make any sense? I don't know. Classic Wargaming moment. Not only that, but Wargaming also designs dead rail in a way that tank destroyers sitting all the way across the map can shoot you. If that waffle didn't shoot me and couldn't shoot where I was, I would have been completely fine. I would have been able to push up. I'd been able to sit hull down, and I never would have to worry. But because Wargaming simply can't design maps properly, it puts me in the situation of cancer. So, I know, I'm irritated, and people don't want to hear me complain, but it's the cold hard truth about Blitz. I mean, yes, I'm doing well, but I could have been doing a lot better, and it pisses me off that a game that I tried to play smart, and I did everything that I should have properly in, I still end up dealing 340 frickin' damage because of the absolute trash bag matchmaking that Wargaming has in this game. Well, we got one shell into the mouse, and I'm going to chill back here. I'm going to reload. I'm not sure what our TVP is doing. I'm dying. I don't want to be shot. Okay, there you go. Now I can poke because the mouse is on reload. Okay, thank you, gun. I appreciate it. There you go. At least we got another pendant to the mouse. Hey, look at that, guys. We're up to more damage than I was in last game already. Isn't that impressive? Whoa. Whoa. Oh, man. Alright, well, let's try and clean up the rest of the games here and see if we can do a little bit better than that one. Oh. Well, none of their heavies are over here because if they were, we'd spot them. None of their tanks are over here, again, because we'd spot them. We have the WZ-111-5A pushing over. And as much as I want to move up, I also know that they have some tank destroyers, which are always going to be a nasty, nasty thing. Okay, well, there's the 5A. I'm going to go for it, honestly. I think that this is a decent play to make. There's the 183. Good. We get some assistance from our team there. We have the mouse over here. And what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to aim it on the mouse lower plate. Get a nice 335 damage pen. We're aiming on the mouse again. There you go, 319. However, this is not great because the E50 is over here. And I don't want to be in a situation where these players can hit me. We do have the 183, we do have the mouse. Get another shell into the mouse once. And really, he hits that. Okay then. You gonna yell at me? Is this gonna be what we're doing here? Is this it? This is average Blitz player here. This is what we're doing. Yep, this is it. This is Blitz, ladies and gentlemen. We YOLO the first tank that we see for no reason. Whoa. Yep, uh-huh. Oh my god, oh my god. Why? Why? There it is, there it is. The games are starting to go terrible, guys. They're starting to go terrible. I thought that I had support from my team. I thought that the 4005 was overlooking me. I thought the 183 was going to help me. Nope, nobody helps me. We have an AFK VK90. Wow, I'm starting to get salty. My average damage is just... Oh my god. Good job from our VK90. Well, that's fun. That's really fun. Okay. Are you gonna shoot him? You gonna shoot him, TVP? You have it. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Skilled player. Very, very skilled player here. Definitely glad he was on my team. Okay. Well, wow. I did pretty good today, but unfortunately, it doesn't matter how good of a player you are when this happens. I thought my team was overlooking me. I would have expected that E50 to get bled crossing, judging that we had a 4005 and 183 staring there, but nope. E50 got away with it. Didn't bleed a single hit point. And not only that, there's a Marat behind me, which I can't do anything about. Yeah. Well, good job, team. Good job. We also had a Yag, which I didn't even know. I don't know where our Yag went. I don't know where he did. But our average damage went from 3,910 to probably 3,700 now. I mean, we didn't do awful in that game. I still ended up dealing 2,600 damage, which is decent, especially when you take a look at this team. But, yeah. Okay. Well, my average damage is dropping. Yeah, 3,800. This is what happens, though, guys, right? You can have this really good streak of games. You can have these incredible battles. You can do a great job. And then 1 second later, the game says, you know what? No, you're not allowed to have fun anymore. Even though you have tanks overlooking you, even though what you thought you made is a good play, you are going to get punished. You are going to get bled out. You are going to suffer. I mean, that E50, right? The reason I'm saying that he should have gotten bled is where he was, there's this opening to get to me. I have a 40.05 and a 183 looking at that opening, and yet nobody shot him. If anybody had shot that E50, if the 40.05 had shot him once or twice, if the 183 had shot him once, and if they had done combined damage, that E50 would have lost about 800 to 1300 health trying to push me, which is what my thought process was. And then it would have allowed me to just kill the E50. And then I could have pushed up and killed the mouse and killed the 183. Just like that, we would have won that game. That's how easy it is to win a battle. But when your team does the opposite and they don't shoot somebody crossing, even though you rely on them as tank destroyers to help you, that's when you lose. And that is exactly what we had happen there. I thought that my team was going to support me, and instead they didn't. I think they shot at the mouse or something, which was entirely useless for me because, I mean, what was I going to do with that information, right? Oh, man. Alright, well, let's see what we can do here. Oh, there's the 50B, and I shot his turret, which is actually pretty nice. Let's get another shell into the 50B. There you go. 2 easy early game shots into his tank. We see that the Yag is already dead on their team. Alright, well, I still have to be careful here because they have a 50-41, and not only that, but it would not surprise me if that 50B decided to just YOLO me. Okay, there we go. Easy shell into the 54. Let's see, I'm going to position my tank in a way that if the 50B does try to YOLO, yep, just like that, I can back off the hill. He's shooting HE as well. What a skilled player. This is the auto-loading epidemic here. These are players that think they're good at the game, that think they can make YOLOs in their auto-loaders, and die for it. Good job, bro. Good job. You did a whopping 62 damage in that game. But what's funny is that if I didn't have a tank destroyer overlooking me, I could have lost 1200 health if he had swapped to AP. And that's why autoloaders are so stupid, bruh. They're so stupid. I knew he was going to YOLO me, though. I mean, it was just a given. So we get 1 shell into the 7.52, 2 shells into the 7.52. Now I reload on single shot. Now they do have 2 183s. I don't like 183s at all. They're cringe. We get a nice shell into you. But I'm going to back into cover because I don't know where their 183s are. They're not over by the E6 because they'd be spotted, so they have to be over by the 7.52. Why they would push here, I don't know. Yep, there they are. There they are. I was correct on my assessment that they would be over here. Let's aim it on the 1183. There you go, 398. Not able to hit him again. No. But that's alright. I'm doing fine. You really gonna do this? You're really gonna do this. Alright, I mean... Shoot you once in the lower plate. Yep. Alright. Congrats. You're gonna shoot your second shell. Yep. And then I'm gonna shoot you once in the lower plate. I don't think that other one... Oh, never mind. He is. He is. He's gonna shoot me. Oh, I take it back. The 7.52 big brain me, I guess. We won, though. And we did a pretty good job in this game. So I can't get too mad. I would have been able to deal... Nah, I don't even think I would have been able to deal more. My extra damage would have been 200 on the 7.52, so... Oh, well. I always find it funny how the enemy tank destroyers always seem to be shooting me, like that game on Dead Rail, but when I need them to support me and cover me, they never do. I mean, yeah, my 183 shot the 50B, but it wouldn't have mattered too much in that game, because I would have killed him anyway. So... started off great today, and still ended off doing pretty good. I mean, 3,800 average damage for 10 games is a pretty solid result. And not only that, but 80% win rate with those games is solid. But you can also see just how quickly an enjoyable session can turn into a really unenjoyable one when teams don't do what they're supposed to. That game on Dead Rail, I seriously did not make misplays. People might come into the comments and be like, oh, you did this, oh, you did that. Nah. You should not be punished by tank destroyer sitting across the frickin' map on Dead Rail. The only reason I had to stop playing where I was because that waffle hit me in the back bush. And the 268 wouldn't even have been a problem if I hadn't bled the health to begin with, because I would have been playing aggressive and I would have been supporting my team. The 121 wasn't a threat because he got nuked. It was really just the fact that that waffle shot me, which put me down from like 1100 health to 500 health. And that's the problem, is Dead Rail just allows tank destroyers to get away with whatever they want. If Wargaming needs to rebalance the map, all they need to do is put a wall up on medium side or lower the hills on tank destroyers so that they can't do that. But it's Wargaming and they refuse to make good map design. That game really got me ticked off, because if I didn't have that one battle, I would have easily done like 4,200 average, even with the other games added in. It's really disappointing when you get bad games like that. But oh well. Overall, in my Lion, I have played 16 games. I'm averaging 3,700 average damage with an 82% win rate. This is an absolutely fantastic medium. It's one of my favorite tanks that Wargaming has put into the game, and it's a really fun tank. It really is. I'm a little sour because of that one game, but I'll move on. So, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you all in the next one, and let me know what you guys think about the Lion. Bye-bye!